words in a minute, but after learning this workshop, I can read 685 words in a minute. Thank you, Empower Me Mind Institute for helping me to read. Today's lesson is how I taught my grandmother to read. In this chapter, there is a grandmother and her granddaughter. The granddaughter is helping her grandmother to read because the grandmother can't able to read because when she was small, at that time the girls were not essential to study. So she never go to study school also, and she can't able to read. In this story, there is also another story. In this another story was known as Kashi Yatra. This was written by the Trivedi, the popular writer at that time. Her story was very convincing and were based on psychological problem of the ordinary people life. In that story, there was a grandmother and an orphan girl. Grandmother, everyone know that we go to Kashi and worship the Lord and we get punya. So the grandmother in another story, she is also believing that in the Kashi we can go and we can. She also want to buy a punya from that from Kashi. So she gets a saving, but the orphan girl in this another story, she loved with a boy and she have not much money to marry with the boy. So the grandmother in another story, she gave all his savings to the orphan girl, and the orphan girl get married to the boy. And everybody told the grandmother to don't give and go to Kashi, but the grandmother told that going to Kashi is not more important than helping the orphan girl. The Krishna, the first story grandmother, she was thinking that the story in Kashi Yatra's grandmother was she only because she also never gone to Kashi. That's why the grandmother, whenever the magazine came in the house, the granddaughter was helping the grandmother to read. But one day the granddaughter, there was a wedding in another village, and the granddaughter gone there. She told the grandmother that she will back in 2 days, but she lived that for 1 week. At that time the magazine came, and when the grandmother opened the magazine, she rubbed her hand on the papers of magazine, but she can't able to read that magazine, that words. So she was crying, and when the granddaughter came back, she saw that her grandmother was crying. So the grandmother never cries in a much important decisions she want to take, or the important things. This way the granddaughter was eager to know that why grandmother was crying. But grandmother didn't say. This was at the summer's night when they have their meal, and when they go at the open terrace to sleep, the grandmother kept her hand on the forehead of the granddaughter and told her story when she was small, that